Samam sarveshu bhuteshu tishtantam parameshwaram vinashyasat vinashyastva vinashyantam yaf pashyati sa pashyati. Joy. Our first line, samam, which means equally. Like efforts for equality, equality. This teaching is shared so much in the Bhagavad Gita. Sarveshu bhuteshu, all beings. To feel all beings are equal, not just you. Why? Tishtandam parameshwaram, because who is standing, who is living in every being? Parameshwara. It is the creator in creation, which really means only the creator. Do you live where all that you interact with, you feel is the creator? How? How can this first line become more practical? It becomes practical by you try. If you don't try, obviously this is impractical. I feel a way to help us to try is to have more enthusiasm to be more patient with people. It is people that agitate us the most. So have the enthusiasm to be patient with them. And one more insight on how we can treat all equally is to not use people, not use them. And shared more casually is to reduce the expectations we have of others. Okay. Now the second line. Vinashyatsu avinashyantam. In the perishing, what is there? The imperishable. In the perishing, there's the imperishable. Yaha pashyati, the one who can see this, saha pashyati, is the only one who sees. How awesome is that final quarter where Shri Krishna is sharing, just because you can see and you have eyes doesn't mean you can see. The real seeing is not with the eyes, but with the intellect. It is not sight, but vision. And so, this final verse we're taking up is summarizing differentiate. That's the theme of chapter 13. As you differentiate, reach the beyond, reach that which is beyond differentiation. That means oneness, infinity. This is the foundation for all expressions, relativity. It is pure light that becomes white light, that becomes the colors. Feel that pure light. Then as you go about interacting with white light, with different colors, you interact with all the way you interact with yourself. In the most accepting, loving way. Yaha pashyati, saha pashyati. SQ, not IQ. We have completed explaining, reviewing, reflecting, and summarizing the first two parts of the Bhagavad Gita. Part one in a scholarly way is on Tvam, in a practical way, karma. The second part, in a scholarly way, Tat, in a practical way, Bhakti. The transition to the third part, which is on Asi or Jnana. Not an objective knowledge, but a personalized knowledge, which is why We go from tvam tat to asi, being. In one word, chapter 13 can be distilled as differentiation. This chapter is filled with questions and filled with answers. Anyone who's training to be a contemplator, please remember what I've shared with you many times. Your content determines your contemplation. If you have little content, you know little about these details, your contemplation will be little also. Lots of questions, lots of answers. We started in verse 7. The reminder for me, values. Verse 12, the reminder for me, vastness. And finally, we went on to, not finally, but 17. 17 was beyond. That's my reminder. From darkness to light. Shri Krishna shares so many visualizations to try to help us to go beyond. Values, vastness, and the point here is don't theorize about vastness, go beyond the theory to asi, to apply this. And so we finish with verse 27. The reminder for me, equality. Samam sarva bhuteshu. To feel an equality with all beings. Now I know our ego and vasanas is pulling us away from this teaching because we think it's impractical. How can I treat my neighbor's wife equally as my wife? That would be illegal, immoral, etc. There is a dynamic relationship between the foundation and the function. Shri Krishna is trying to guide us to insight on the foundation. Insight means you're not using your eyes. This is feeling-based. The foundation is what? In Sanskrit, dhamma. In English, center. From that, the foundation starts to express as gunas or qualities. Rupa or forms. Nama or names. And this becomes more and more and more functional. So with my eyes, I see that my neighbor's wife, her name is different than my wife's. Her form is different than my wife. Her qualities are different than my wife, but her center is the same. With that insight, one starts to live in an inclusive way. I feel that many DEI efforts are theoretical. What we are doing is most practical. I rewatched Oppenheimer. How many of you have not seen Oppenheimer thus far? Usually I give you my personal opinion and organizational opinion. Now I'm going to unite them. I'm disappointed in you. Personally and organizationally. This is the third time I've watched this. And two statements that really struck me. This is from Oppenheimer. Theory will only get you so far. And then he follows it up with, theory can't affect people's lives. I love that sentiment. Theory can't affect people's lives. This is why in our community, this is satsanga, but the trajectory is seva sangha. Apply.